What up and welcome to Tell Me I'm Wrong. Rick there, Marsh here, yells nowhere, and we're happy about it. Rick, cake is the most overrated dessert of all time. We should not be eating it on birthdays. Tell me I'm wrong.
You're wrong. You're
No.
dead ass wrong. Cakes are awesome. The people who think cakes are terrible are those who can't have the right person making their cake. I'll tell you right now, if you haven't had a cake by a lady who has swollen ankles and a little bit of something right here flabbing down while she's making it, if you haven't had a cake made by and she has a moo on and a bonnet on, if you have not had a cake made by that person, my friend, you do not know what cakes really taste like, and I feel so sorry for you.
No, I've had cake made by plenty of different people.
You've had cake by a lady whose arm sags like this.
Not to disparage any relatives, but you know we've had cake from a wide range of people, Rick. And let me tell you
You've
what,
had cake with a woman who has swollen ankles.
yes, I'm pretty sure diabetes is not foreign to my bloodline. All right, and let me just tell you what.
And you
cake.
one more check.
Okay.
From a woman who's wearing a moo while baking the cake.
Just enlighten me on what exactly a moo is, and I'll tell you yes or no.
It's like a gown. It's like a cloth gown. It's
Yeah,
nothing
okay.
sexy about it.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
just a long gown with cloth.
So to answer your question, yes, but you know what? Yes, I've not had cake from a woman with a bonnet because, believe it or not, bonnets, in probably the way that you're describing it, don't really make their way into middle of nowhere Vermont. Believe it or not,
Really?
and shocking, I know, right? Shocking, but everything else, check the box. And here's the thing. Here's the problem with cake, Rick. It is just dry. There's too much freaking. And we're gonna. This is the Thanksgiving show all over again. But the frosting too sugary. I don't need to get diabetes from the cake. It can be part of why I get diabetes, but I don't want that to be the sole reason. Even if it's a moist cake, and I'm not sure how you feel if you're one of those people that can't hear the word moist or not, but even if it's a moist cake, I don't want cake in any way, shape, or form at all. It's overrated. It's just nasty. It's just nasty.
This is a crazy statement. Do the cakes? I have more questions. I'm sorry. Do the cakes? It's turn to interrogate Marsh portion of the show. Do the cakes you've had? Did the person who made them? Did they make it out of a box?
No, this is homemade cake.
Homemade cake.
Yeah, believe it or not, I see normally Boxman over here. Boxman gets paid. I love me box food.
What flavor cake? What flavor cake was it? I'm just curious.
Every vanilla, chocolate, birthday cake.
You've had an assortment of homemade cakes.
And I hated them all.
All of them underwhelmed you is what you're saying?
Pass on all of them. I don't like it. It is overrated. We have been brainwashed by Big Cake to like cake for our birthdays. That's what they're doing to us. They just infiltrated us and said we're gonna own the birthday, and everybody's gonna like it.
Who's behind the Big Cake, Marsh? Let's get deep conspiracy. Who's behind this Big Cake theory you're speaking of?
Pillsbury.
Is Little Debbie behind it?
It's Pillsbury, the little doughboy where you poke him in the bell. Yeah, he's behind it.
So Pillsbury is the devil.
Big Pillsbury got in. They swooped in the 1950s and 60s. That was kind of the end of the era of traditional American families, right? Where you had the mother would stay at home and the dad would do all the working. And Pillsbury got in and said, "We're gonna make them housewives. We're going to make them know you serve cake all the time. That's the birthday." And they've infiltrated that, and it hasn't left, even though we've changed many parts of our society in the last 70 plus years. That cake went nowhere. And so Big Cake and Big Pillsbury, they're behind it of why we are a birthday cake civilization today.
Interesting. Now, I will say this, especially store-bought birthday cakes are terrible for the most part. But cakes in general, homemade cakes. Some of my favorite spice cake. Have you ever had a spice cake?
I want to say yes.
It's like a carrot cake, but with melanin in it. You know what I mean? It's like a melanated version of a carrot cake.
I'm sure I have, but can I say one thing? I don't like cake, but I do mess around with a carrot cake. That's the only real cake that I like.
Come on,
is
man.
a carrot cake.
Now you got exceptions to your own rule now.
No, because cake is vanilla, chocolate, whatever, and you've got like a layer. No, carrot cake don't count. If a kid don't,
so what is carrot cake?
Well, you didn't cut me off. I was getting to it. If a kid will like it, then it's cake. If a kid don't like it, then it's not cake, and that's why carrot cake does not count, because kids see carrot cake and they're like, I don't want vegetables. Psych, miss me with that. That's why carrot cake doesn't count. Carrot cake does not count. What? Because Rick, let's.
That's the reason I've ever heard.
I'm turning the spotlight back on you. Interrogation time. Okay, let's say you're between the ages of 8 and 14. That is prime birthday cake age. Okay, 8 to 14. And little Debbie or little Jimmy walks into grade school birthday, and everybody knows on the birthday, the kid whose birthday it is, the parents make a cake and they bring it in. And Jimmy or Debbie walks in with a carrot cake. Are you, as an 8 to 14-year-old, stoked?
Well, I'm probably the worst this question, because I was taught by my folks don't eat food from other people's homes. So I would say no to no matter what version of a cake it was. Now, if it's a store-bought cake, yeah, I'm gonna try it. I'm a kid. I'm gonna try it. But if you tell me somebody's mom made a cake from home and bringing it, no, thank you. I'm good. I'm gonna grab it because I was taught respect. But when they turn it back, I'm throwing that shit in the trash.
But you're saying that for any cake, but I'm saying you're saying that, but you're also saying you're not eating the carrot cake, because you're probably going to be a little bit more tempted if they showed up with a vanilla or chocolate cake. But somebody walks in with a carrot cake and you're going to be like, miss me with it, and that's why.
I don't think carrot cake is a school birthday cake type of function, but at someone's house,
you're right.
If Big Mama got a carrot cake sitting on the counter that she baked the other day, I'm digging in that. Because her cakes are all...
You're digging into Big Mama's carrot cake, huh? You're digging into Big Mama's carrot cake. Okay, Rick. Okay, dog. 100%. Okay, dog.
100%. The carrot cake, the Italian cream cake, the chocolate cake, the spice cake for sure, tea cakes, which go into the cookie form, but it's still tea cake. Like, I'm with a good cake, bro. I am with a good cake. And don't give me a scoop of vanilla bean ice cream, Haagen-Dazs, because I'm bougie like that. Of a scoop of vanilla bean Haagen-Dazs ice cream on top of that. Oh, man, cut it. All right. I'm in. I'm all the way in.
Before we flip, I got one last thing on it. One last thing on cake. At a wedding, I don't care about the bride and groom are cutting the cake. I think it's the most overhyped part of the wedding, where they're like, everybody look at this, because you look at the cake and it's, first off, overpriced, way too expensive for the function. And then the cake is the size of the cake that you bring in for a group of 8 people. And you look around and you're like, there's 90 of us here. We ain't all getting a slice of that cake. So I don't even want to know what they're doing over there. They can have it. Miss me with it. That's my last parting.
So real quick, I got to just really quick. That is the exception I do have on cakes, though. I put a lot of pressure on wedding receptions, wedding cakes. That is your big day, your big moment. You better not come in with no regular ass plain ass vanilla cake. It either has some kind of ganache in it, maybe some kind of cream cheese or strawberry swirl or something like. It needs to have something in it. I am very critical of wedding cakes. If you're gonna spend $500 for a cake on your wedding day, special day, make it worthwhile.
I'll say this. What is ganache?
Ganache, the
gooey. Ganache. You sound like an extra.
What you thought I said?
Ganache.
Get out of here, bro.
But I'll tell you this: there was no wedding cake at Marshall and his wife's wedding. We had ice cream, straight Ben and Jerry's ice cream cart. That's how we.
Was it an all you can?
We had a server, so she had a bunch of cakes, or excuse me, not cakes. She had a bunch of ice creams, and she had a little cart, and you just went out and got it. We had some fish food because that's my personal favorite. We had my wife is dairy free. Fish food, brother. Oh,
gummies in it?
No, it's got little chocolate fishes. It's got a little caramel. It's got marshmallow. It is phenomenal, and it's spelled PHISH after the band Fish, which originated in Vermont. Of course, Ben and Jerry's is from Vermont, so that's how we do it. All right, Rick, you're up. What are you wrong about? Oh, I'm still up. I lied. Sorry. Second one, cookies are pointless desserts. Tell me I'm wrong.
Just end the show right now. First,
pointless desserts.
Cakes is overrated. Nice says cookies are pointless, bro. If you don't eat desserts, just say that. That's what you're really getting down to. Really saying you really want the world to say y'all should just be eating carrot sticks and celery and call it a day. That's what you really want to say. Just go ahead and say it, bro.
I have a massive sweet tooth. I love sweets. I mean, look, I was going to save this for later, but product placement, shout out to the Houston, Texas Girl Scouts. Producer Yells, got me some Girl Scout cookies. Peanut butter are the best ones. They're the best ones. Thin Mints are behind it. I love sweets. But here's my problem with cookies. They're too small. When I eat a cookie, I want to be able to have as much cookie as I'm like, give me as many cookies as I can. But one single cookie, I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'll get halfway through and I'm like, well, was that worth it? Was that worth all, especially like a crumble cookie? Crumble cookies are
Come on.
1,000 calories of one of them.
Come on. Crumble cookies is the most overrated cookie
I agree with you there.
On the planet.
I agree with you there.
Not a great example about cookies. They are C+ at its best, and they charge you $5. Every time someone mentions something about crumble cookie, they have to tell me a particular flavor or something. If you gotta name certain flavors on certain days, that means you shouldn't be selling cookies. Or you shouldn't be selling any of the cookies but those certain flavors on those certain days. Crumble cookies, garbage.
And let me add to this. If you ship your cookies and you pre-cut them into quarters because you know that's how many calories are in it. And I'm a guy that pays attention slightly to what I eat. But if you pre-cut them into quarters because it's that calorically dense, miss me with it. I don't want to have it. I don't want any of it. That's a full 4-course meal in the size of a cookie. And that's what I'm getting at. Cookies
and it's not good enough. I don't mind the calories if the cookie lives up to par. There are some cookie spots I'm not going to say here online because people in Houston are going to start bombarding my spot and I'm going to feel some kind of way. But there are some cookies, my man, that if you get your hands on and you close your eyes and you take a bite, you swear you're going to be in heaven. Not heaven, you're going to be in heaven. I'm trying to tell you.
No. Well, look, maybe. I don't know. I'm not in Texas, so whatever soul food cookie you've concocted down there, you guys go nuts with it. But my point on cookies is there's the reward for the calories. Again, I'm coming at this from a guy who pays attention to what he eats.
Who shouldn't be eating desserts, apparently.
But I love desserts. Desserts are the best. So I once had a funny story. I had a period in which, as a guy, when you pay attention to calories, you have a cheat meal. And so there was a long stretch, and by long, I mean like 6 weeks probably, where my cheat meal was I would go and I would get a family-sized bag of Reese's Thins, which are fantastic, by the way. And I would eat the entire bag of it in a weekend. And so I went in and I got my blood work done, and the doctor was like, hey, your sugars are kind of high. You're actually at the low end of being pre-diabetic. Like pre-diabetic was 6.0. I was coming in at 6.0. And they were like, well, did you change anything? I was like, nah, I haven't changed anything. Because I would always have cheat meals. Like that's just Saturday night was cheat meal night. Like that's how I did it. And then I started thinking about, oh, wait, hold on. Maybe the cheat meal has ramped up a little bit. And so the moment I stopped doing that, I suddenly, believe it or not, no longer was pre-diabetic or on the verge of it because of my infatuation with Reese's Thins. So I'm a guy that loves his sweets. Don't get me wrong. It's just as a cookie, it's like 4 bites and then you're done. And it's like, well, what was that 250 calories worth? I could have had box of Kraft mac and cheese. I could have had that. I'd be satisfied by the end of that experience. I'm not going to be satisfied at the end of a couple cookies.
Two things. You're not a real dessert eater, and you probably shouldn't eat desserts if you were my counting calories when eating desserts. Calories.
I'm not counting. I'm not counting wild.
Soon as you say the word dessert, calories should go out of your brain
100%.
because that has no place in the dessert world. And two,
why did I lose a check mark? By the way.
I
lost it for the Kraft mac and cheese.
Anytime you say box Kraft mac and cheese
give me negatives.
Potentially glowing manner, you should lose a check mark.
Give me negatives.
Good job, producer. And two, if your cheat dessert consists of Reese's Thin Mints, if that's what you call a good time,
mints.
The Reese's Thins, and I assume they're thin because it's supposed to be less calories. But usually when you do something
I don't know why they're thin.
They cheat the other way around. So if you're going to do a dessert, I just say do a good dessert that's going to be sweet enough and filling enough where I don't need a lot of it. You get a really good chocolate chip cookie, I only need one. You get a real good slice of pie, I only need one, maybe half. Because it's rich enough where I don't have to complete the entire thing. And for someone who like you, who counts their calories like a 14-year-old debutante girl, you need to just get you something that's rich enough where you can just eat it in sections and be done with it, bro.
Look, I'm not saying I'm counting the calories during dessert. Yes, if I'm having dessert, I'm just saying the risk reward, balance between a cookie and what I'm getting out of it. I'm just miss me with it. I don't need it. Orange jelly beans, but actually I will say this, not even orange jelly beans. All jelly beans are the worst.
Tell me I'm wrong. They're not great. Now I can think of something that's worse than that though.
What's worse than orange?
I think candy corn is the worst.
Oh wow.
Worst snack, whatever crap in the world. I don't think there's between candy. I think candy corn has to be worse. It has to be the worst.
It's very chalky. It's very chalky.
It has no flavor.
Doesn't have flavor. You want to talk about not worth it?
It feels old because if you're eating it outside the month of October, it feels old. Because you see, it's Octoberish month colors, right? So if you're eating candy corn in April, I'm sure that's like 5 years old. I just assume you're eating something that's 5 years old. And you could have just gotten it, but I'm assuming it's 5 years old.
But at that point, why are you eating candy corn?
That's what I'm saying.
Like, candy corn makes sense in the fall. Because beyond Halloween, because it makes sense for Halloween, but in the fall because it's harvest season, corn happening. What are you eating candy corn because you're going out to plant the corn for the year ahead? Get out of here! You're not doing that. This is not a pre-up. All right, Rick, what are you wrong about here?
All right, so oysters.
Is this one of yours?
Ooh, I don't know who put that.
Oysters are not a sexy food. No, because they're disgusting. Oysters is the mucus of the sea. It's just
oysters is an aphrodisiac, young man.
Is it?
Yes, I'm trying to put you on some game, man. Now you might not eat. You might not have it in a rawest form, which is fine. I like mine charbroiled personally. Put it. I prefer a heat on most of my food. I'm not a eat things just completely raw type of guy. So I charbroil, maybe a little spinach, maybe a little parmesan or something. You can get as excited as you want. But an oyster, my man, if you and a lady can sit down, have a conversation, maybe a glass of wine or so, and can take down between the two of you a dozen of oysters, yeah, man. I promise you, she don't know why she likes you a lot more in that moment. But I'm telling you, she likes you a lot more at that moment because those oysters are kicking in. It's doing something. You know what I mean? It's getting her ready. It's meshing with you guys' natural energy. And you should be in a better position to close the deal at the end of the night if you start the night off with oysters. That's just how I feel about it.
Oysters are. It's not something that now I heard this because you're in Texas, so you got the Gulf right there. I heard Gulf oysters are not the good oysters, or they are the good oysters.
I mean, I live in the Gulf, so I don't have much of a balance to check otherwise to compare and contrast.
Well, I don't know if they shipped them in. I don't. It's just not a meal that made its way to the landlocked state of Vermont very much in my youth.
So you guys don't really participate in oysters at all.
I didn't. I can't. I'm not gonna sit here and speak for it. My family did not. If we got seafood, it was salmon or it was scallops. That's or shrimp. That was the route that we went when we got seafood. It was not oysters. I'm sure there's a. I mean, look, I'm gonna get a call from my mom after this because she's gonna listen. Because literally before we got on, she called me. She said I have questions about our last podcast, so I'm gonna have to answer more questions. I'm sure. Or I shouldn't say that. I'm gonna get information about why we didn't have oysters growing up in a little bit here. So talk to me next Thursday at about 4:30. I'll probably get a call.
Put a little hot sauce on it. Hey, I will do a whole little segment on oysters, right? Put a little hot sauce on it, depending on what you got. Oysters can be a thing. It can be a really good thing.
Okay, now we know. All right. Sidebar: dessert. Dessert is a sexy food. It's just you got to get the right. Like, there's nothing better than little.
It's a sexy food.
It's a sex because you can feed the other person the food. You can get a little flirtatious and get some.
Lick it off their neck. You know what I mean? Or
there you
whatever
go.
the case may be.
Right.
Yeah.
There's that. I was thinking more public places. You went straight to the bathroom.
Me too.
Or the
That's why I said the
bedroom.
neck.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. But yeah, it's a flirtatious meal. Well, I mean, shoot. Even though the wedding, I'm not a big wedding cake guy. It's a very, that's the typical wedding. You smash the cake in the other person's face. I mean, I'm not saying that act is sexy, but
no, you don't.
yes, well, the woman does to the guy.
I don't know.
You're that far out of it, huh?
Marsh. I don't know how many weddings. I've never been to a black wedding and saw the groom get smashed in his face with a cake.
Well, that's why.
That'll be the grand opening and the grand closing of their wedding. I've never seen that before. That's a real thing.
Yeah, come on. That's that white person vibe,
Yeah, that is wild. Why?
Yeah,
for what? What's the purpose?
I don't know. I didn't have cake in my wedding. I don't know the answer to that. We had ice cream.
So your wife could have smashed ice cream on your face. That would have been okay.
I didn't want that. No, I'm just saying it's a stereotypical thing. I've seen it happen.
But you would have accepted that if she would have done it.
I would have been like, well, it's tough with ice cream, man. You can't, because cake, you're supposed to feed them. How are you supposed to feed ice cream? I don't want to eat ice cream out of your hand. Get that out of here. Like, that's nasty. This is just gross. And then the other person doesn't want to feed you ice cream out of their hand because their hands all sticky.
All right. So, other sexy food desserts.
Why are we talking sexy foods, by the way? What the hell is happening right now?
I mean,
this is your topic?
That's where we at, brother. Okay. Like, I think whipped cream is a nice, sexy item to have.
Okay.
I think morsels of chocolate is a nice, sexy, or caramel is a nice, sexy item to have.
Do you want a little morsel action? We like to take in our household. We'll take a spoon, dump it in the peanut butter, and then sprinkle dark chocolate morsels on it. It's a little homemade peanut butter cup. Don't hate on it. Bad. Also, it's just good, and you should also try Oreo Thins, very specifically Oreo Thins, because Oreo Thins are better than Oreos.
Everything's a thin.
Tell me I'm wrong. No, it's just it's better.
You got Reese's Thins. You got Oreo Thins.
Because the ratios are strong.
You got peanut butter Thins right now. Everything's a thin.
These aren't thins. These are normal patties I got right here.
Marsh, you have a complex. Just admit it. You have a complex.
I don't. The ratio on an Oreo Thin is better than the original Oreo, but you take the Oreo Thin and you dump it into the peanut butter. Get a little scoop of peanut butter on it. That's good.
So it's Oreo and peanut butter.
Yeah, it's good.
I'm not so interesting enough for me. I do not eat Oreos as is out of the package. I must.
Oh, you're one of these.
Dipped in milk.
Oh, okay.
I like it. I sit in there for a moment, let it get soft.
In the morning.
I enjoy it.
You said a moment.
So it gets soft. However long it takes to get soft. A moment. That could be 5 seconds.
Actually, that is the.
Damn, I pulled it more.
You got to pause on there. You got to pause, bro. There's nothing better than that. Than a nice Oreo and milk.
Dang, y'all got me.
I don't know whose this is. Sexy foods or
Okay,
foreplay?
sexy foods are for. I think yes, absolutely. I think it very much can be foreplay. I think if there's food involved, especially if you're at home, let's say you and your partner or your loved one, whoever, you guys are at home, so you're in the comfort of someone's home. I think food can absolutely turn the tide and really get you in the driver's seat to be able to have some fun before sex.
What?
Absolutely, absolutely,
What?
absolutely,
What
absolutely.
food? What food is your go-to
I mean, we can
foreplay
we can start it. We can
choice?
start off really simple with just a cube of ice. You can start with just a cube of
Okay,
ice. Let
that's
that.
not a food. Is
I know.
food
I
is
said
ice
that's
food?
why I said start off simple. I haven't even gotten to the food. I'm
That
starting out
well,
with the
that's what I'm
basics.
asking. Is ice cream? Well, ice cream. Ice is ice food.
No, ice is water, frozen water.
Okay.
You don't need to go over the molecular structure of ice.
No. Just I
I
don't know.
can,
Sometimes,
I can if I need
sometimes
to.
if times are tough.
I'm not
If times are
tripping.
tough, you have a bottle. You have a bowl of ice with some water for dinner. I don't know.
But that's cool. But that's even for these times. You just put your lady may just be maybe she's laying on the couch, leaning on the couch, and you
Get the
play
full description.
and you listen and you play. You just drop the ice cube,
Just drop
and if
it.
the ice cube does what the ice cube do,
Okay.
and where the ice cube drips, so do you. You feel what I'm saying? You follow the ice cube, yo, brother. You follow the ice cube. I was giving you free game. This is free game on a Thursday.
I'm taking notes. I forgot my pen. I should have brought
And
my
it don't
pen and
cost
paper
you
with me.
anything. You already have it at your disposal because the way water freezes,
Oh, you're
or
rich like that. You have water
if
just
you
or
leave
ice
it, if
on
you leave it
on.
in the freezer at a certain temperature for a certain period of time, it will harden up like an ice cube. So it don't cost you anything to do that. And you can have yourself a good time. Again, we're talking about actual foods and snacks and things. You got whipped cream. I mentioned that already. It's a good one.
Okay.
You have chocolate, melted chocolate, but let it be warm. I mean, let it be cool though, not hot melted chocolate. Let's not get crazy. Strawberries, special fruits like strawberries, are a good one. Watermelon, pineapple is a great one. A great one. Pineapple is a great one before and after. Grapes is a good one. And if she's really nasty, banana.
You're. I don't think we want any more. I don't think we want any more descriptors from old Richard here. Um, about everything. Look, I mean, here I got a bad relationship with food because food is fuel, baby. I mean, I I just
It is fuel. I agree.
I've never, look, it's not something that have put nearly as much thought into it as Rick clearly has. Thought nor experimentation apparently, as Rick has. But you know what? I tip of the cap to any person that has had that opportunity to have that experience with you, Rick, because good for them.
March, start with the ice cube and then thank me later, brother. Just start with the ice cube.
Yeah.
It's harmless.
I mean, I think I would say they can be, right? And I think that you got to have two people that are open to that experience, I guess is what I'm getting at. If you got somebody who's like, nah, I don't want your banana, then you're going to have some problems. So you got to have two chefs in the kitchen. That's all I'm saying.
I do not care for your banana, good sir. No, I don't want your banana.
All right, date night dessert. Excuse me. Date night includes dessert, and it costs. It. Rick, what your take?
Yo, I just think date night, cost wise, a single date is mad expensive these days. It's uncanny how expensive a date night becomes. The movie theater between two people. I like popcorn and a little drink with mine. That's like a $60 situation.
Actually, it is. We just went to the
and
movies.
two people getting some concessions. That's easily $60.
Yep.
Like, so when you talking about going to a nice restaurant, Man, dating is listen, we at a time now where for all the married men, you good. It's cheaper to keep her. Stay where you at. I'm telling you, stay where you at. It's cheaper to keep her.
You like that?
In the dating world, bro, do you know how much you gotta like somebody to take her to an actual restaurant these days?
I don't.
Like, because you gotta start your meter at 200.
$200?
You got to. You think about a plate. A decent plate is going to be at minimum $30 a person. At minimum.
I guess.
Not to mention if you get an appetizer, that's another 20. Don't get drinks on top of that. That's another 15, 20 per pop.
Yep.
And what if she wants some dessert? Bro, I'm at 20. I'm at $200. I hadn't even parked the car yet. If I'm at a nice restaurant, you got to valet the park.
Whoa, you're getting bougie. You're getting bougie. Well, see, this is what you say. You say, look, girl, we've had our appetizers. We've had our drinks. I just got your meal. And she says, I want dessert. And you go, baby, I got a banana waiting for you at home. That's what you hit him with, Rick.
Get that man some more check mark. There you go, Marsh.
Yeah, dessert. I do not think date night does not include dessert. But I'll come at it again.
Wait, you're telling your date no? Like, no, we're not doing dessert. That's what you're saying?
Well, because
Marshall would really love some dessert now. And you're like, nah.
Well, here's the problem, Rick. The wife has some inability to eat dairy or gluten. So when you go to a restaurant, chances are they do not have dessert, which means if Marshall wants dessert, Marshall's going to be eating that thing alone. And sometimes I don't need all the dessert that they bring. And then they bring the 2 spoons, and then one of them doesn't even get touched. And then they come back and like, all right, this fat ass just housed this brownie sundae. And I'm sitting there halfway through being like, well, I'm not. And my wife's a big, like, no food wasted gal, right? If you, anything, and I would agree with that. Like, if I've made food, we got to eat it. I don't like throwing food out. I'm not good at that. I'll admit I occasionally, more often than not, have had produce go bad. It's a bad thing. But if we're out to dinner and you order something, you got to eat the whole plate. And sometimes I just don't need a whole ice cream sundae or brownie or whatever to myself.
So speaking of, I have a side question. When you were in the dating world, I know you're married. Everyone knows you're a married man now. But when you were in the dating world, was it cool for your date to take to-go box? Or is that like we're not doing this?
As in, like, was I okay with that?
Yeah, is that a cool? Are you fine with to-go boxes, or is it like, nah? You should order what you're going to eat, because you're not eating off of me tomorrow too. You're not eating off me tonight.
Yeah,
and then off tomorrow.
I've got no problem with it. I got no problem with it. Before we keep going, we gotta not pay the bills. So Rick has an ad read to take care of.
Here we go. Oh, wow. Today's episode is brought to you by Cracker Barrel. When you walk into a Cracker Barrel, there's a certain aura about the place. The foods are without seasoning. The biscuits and gravy are extra sloppy. The fried chicken is crispy. It all feels like a time machine back into the 1950s when life was simpler, when life was better. Interesting. When there was a very clear separation of things. Interesting. There's a very specific place for everyone. Cracker Barrel is that old school, old country, simple way of life when life was simply better. What I wouldn't give to go back to the 1950s. But I know when I go into a local Cracker Barrel, that's exactly what I'll do. Cracker Barrel for a simpler time.
All right, we're coming back. Appreciate the ad read. Appreciate the payment there. All right, desserts are not meant to be shared, Rick. I think that is a false statement. I think if you're going to be out to dinner with somebody and they do want dessert, you should be sharing that dessert. Like, maybe your dessert looks better than mine. I want some. But also, it's to look to your point. You're talking. I think there's multiple levels to this. One, maybe your dessert looks better. Two, we get to sample more items on the menu when we team up on the desserts and not just get one and that's one each. Also, you're talking about $200 dates. Look, as a married man, you still have to go out on dates. If you can find something that the two of you can have, and then you're not spending $40 on dessert, you're spending $20 on dessert. Because dessert, let's be honest, even if there's less food for dessert, you're still paying the entree at least appetizer price, right? It's not like the dessert's going to be $7. Maybe it will be. Chances are, if you're at an establishment that Rick likes to go to, where he valets his car and he gets his raw oysters and he gets a gold-plated drink that's $20. That's got some top shelf liquor in it. Chances are your dessert is not going to be $6 like it would be if you just popped into a pub.
Chili's.
And they were like, or Chili's. Chili's desserts, don't hate on the chili desserts. Those are pretty good.
I love that Paradise Pie when they had it at one point in time. That was awesome.
Okay. All right. There you go. So I would say that desserts are meant to be shared. I would agree.
Well,
I would agree with that statement.
Obviously, you're going to think they deserve to be shared. You count calories for a living.
No.
So you're going to always think that a dessert deserves to be shared. You prefer to eat Thin Mints instead of actual mints itself. I feel this way.
I do like Thin Mints.
I think when it comes to desserts, me personally, I'm usually a appetizer or dessert guy. I typically don't do both, personally.
Oh.
If I do the appetizer, because usually I'm paying for it too, so I'm monitoring myself and others, right? So if I do appetizer,
big spender, okay.
Won't do dessert. If I skip on the appetizer, or if she orders the appetizer, not really my cup of tea, then I do a dessert. Now, I'm from the South, so as a Southerner and as a gentleman, I'm going to always offer for you to have some of my dessert. Always. But let me say this. Once we start eating said dessert that I ordered, I will be eating 60% of said dessert. That's just how it's going to go. Now, you may get the last bite, but I've already eaten 59% of my portion by the time you make it to the last. I may allow you to have, I want you to have the last bite, but that means I've already eaten 59% of said dessert if we're sharing. You know what I mean? I've already eaten close to 60% of dessert already. If when you get to your last bite, he saved me the last bite. I sure did, babe, because I ate 60% already. I already have my 60%, and the other 40 is for you. So that's how I feel about desserts. I'm cool with sharing it. Sometimes people don't like the same type of desserts. I'm a bread pudding guy. Everybody doesn't like bread pudding. But if I want bread pudding, regardless if you like it or not, I'm getting bread pudding. So and if you wanted some of it, cool. If not, I'm just fine.
So you bring a protractor with you to the dinner reservation as well, huh? You sit there and you be like, all right, here's the cake, and judging by these calculations, you're gonna get this a little bit at the end, and this other 50% is mine.
Let's not.
You must have loved math class.
It's not a protractor; it's a TI-83. Thank you very much.
TI, dude, you gotta be on the TI-84 gang, man. Come on, man. Nah. TI-84, that's the new gang. That's the new gang coming in, you know? Okay. Doggy bag on a date equals sex. Yes or no for sure, Sir Richard over here?
Yes.
Explain this logic. Two things didn't cross my mind as being a conjoined twin there.
Well, for me, it's a very simple logic. All dates end on sex. So doggy bag, non-doggy bag.
Big dog.
It's a big capper. We've had a good time.
But have a better time.
We enjoy each other's company. You're full. I'm full. Let's kick it up a notch. It's time to go up the next rung. Time to go to the next level. We're going to the next level. All right. And so the next level, doggy bag or not. You know what I'm saying? Where my dog's at. You know what I'm saying? It's going to the next level. It's the next level. Roof.
Look, That's not where I thought you were going with that. To be honest with you, I thought you were gonna make some connection where, well, if she's getting a doggy bag, then we gotta put her in the fridge, so I gotta take her home, and then that XYZ. I look, if the date said I want to get this to go, I'd be like, good, you can have it, or more likely in a married house, I'm gonna have it tomorrow because I want it. So thank you.
But you don't mind doggy bags at all.
No. Because what's gonna happen is she's gonna be like, no, I don't guess I don't want it anymore. And I'm like, I knew it. I'll have it. Thank you. So look. Whatever happens when we get home, that's what happens. But doggy bag just means we got leftovers for Marshall in the morning, and I don't gotta cook. It's one less meal that I have to cook. That's how I'm thinking of it. That's how I'm thinking of it. All right. After dinner, sweets over coffee. Look, yes, but I have been enjoying the late cup of coffee recently. But I don't understand how somebody could do caffeinated coffee late at night, coming from a guy who likes himself a espresso martini, which is really the best of both worlds right there.
I feel like the coffee thing at the end of the dinner, I feel like it's a European thing. I feel like it has a European origin. I
So that's why you don't like it.
I feel like at that point, and I'm saying I don't like.
That's why you.
I'm not saying I don't like it. I'm saying here in America, we just get the cake.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I mean? That's
nothing to do with anything else. No other history that you're concerned about between the Europeans.
We just get the cake. Yeah. I happen to love a lot of things that the Europeans do. But I'm not too big on I don't understand. Maybe because I'm not much of a coffee drinker either. So that doesn't go in my favor either. So if you ask me coffee or a cake, a slice of cake, I'm going to go with the cake.
I'm going to sidebar the sidebar. Coffee, I've been on an espresso trip. We got espresso maker for our wedding a couple years.
Nice.
What, 18 months ago now? And I love waking up in the morning. I've got a coffee grinder that my wife got me. I grind up my beans. I put them in. I got a little tiny Guinness cup. There's nothing more relaxing in the morning than sitting there with a little great day for a Guinness espresso mug, just sipping on espresso in the morning. It's fantastic. It picks me up a little bit, but it's more of the. It's rich.
Is your pinky?
Oh, is my pinky up?
Yes.
No, I don't think so. I don't know. I don't think so. I think I'm still blue collar, pinky down, blue collar man. No pinky up.
Still blue collar.
Yeah, I'm still blue collar espresso drinker. Apparently, I lost all my check marks for that one. But we are getting. I don't know if he's mic'd up or not. So, coffee. So Yells is telling us that coffee after dinner is originated in Arabia. I don't know if Arabia still exists today. So that tells you how old it is. Does it still exist today? I don't know the answer to this. He said it was later taken by the Europeans. They took a lot of things. They took a lot of things, dude. God, and they took that. Sheesh. Okay, ready? There's just something about the Europeans taking those darker things for their own, you know?
Oh my God. Hey, the Europeans, if they're nothing else, they are consistent.
They have a type. They have a type.
They have
typecast themselves into
which
a very
is why I
specific
choose the
thing.
cake.
That's it. Some entrees should be desserts. If you're cooking it in the parts of the country that do have a higher diabetic ratio, they put sugar in everything. So there's some entrees that just end up being desserts. But I would say traditionally, entrees should not be desserts. Dessert has to be sweet. Dessert has to be a sweet item. It just has to be.
I agree. I'm not a savory dessert kind of person, and I'm also not a sweet/savory entree type of person. Like pick like a fence, a side of the fence, and stand on it. I don't want my entree to be sweet and savory at the same time.
What I don't even know what. Maybe you'll say one, but I don't even know what entree is sweet. Like I don't know, Rick, if you have an example for me of an entree that is
That's
sweet
sweet.
enough to be
Well,
considered dessert.
there is one. I'm glad you. I have one exception to the rule. Candy yams is sweet,
Can't
but
okay.
I do love it as an entree, not as a dessert. Candy yams is an entree, not a dessert. So candy yams is a dish, a
Okay.
side dish that is a side dish. It's not dessert. It's actually for entree, part of the entree, and it is sweet. So that's my exception to the rule. Candy yams is the exception to the rule. Other than that, get that sweet stuff out of here on my entree.
I know. I just don't see it. If it shouldn't be.
Have you ever had
Sugar
candy
is
yams,
dessert.
Marsh?
I am sure I have not.
Okay, we got.
Not for any reason.
Yeah, it's
I never
because you're
had
in Vermont.
somebody with I never had somebody with
Yeah,
the wherewithal to say let's make candied yams. I don't even know.
man, I know.
It's not.
Hey, man,
I'm
it's
not
tough.
running
It's
from
tough,
it.
bro. It's tough. I know it's tough, man. It's tough.
Yeah,
It's tough,
I'm
man.
I'm I'm missing out. I'm missing out. All right, Rick. Do you have a mini wrong? Because I do. I have a mini wrong.
Shoot first. I'm gonna shoot second.
So we are recording this on Monday. The Oscars occurred on Sunday night, and there was a whole bunch of attention, as always is, around the Oscars. And frankly, I don't care about the Oscars because I don't give a damn if Marty Supreme or Sinners wins Best Picture, and I don't care that somebody said something about ballet or orchestra or whatever Timmy C said. If a movie's entertaining, I'm not going to get bent out of shape if it does or does not win an award. If an actor is a good actor or not a good actor, I'm not going to be bent out of shape. If they do or do not win an award, I'm not going to say they were robbed from something. I frankly do not care about any. And I would say this extends to, and speaking as somebody who's been nominated for awards, I think it's great for an artist to reach that. But I do not think that as the receiver of the art, I don't care if it was award winning or not. If it was good, if it was good. If it was not good, it was not good. Simple as that. So all this Oscar fluff, I don't care. I think Sinners did a really great job on. They took home a lot of awards. Also, I think the Grammys, or excuse me, the Oscars just came out where now the people that pick the movies are now required to watch the movies because before they weren't required to watch the movies, which to me is
That's
all right,
terrible. That's
that's why I
terrible.
shouldn't care about this because they weren't required to watch it before. So miss me on any
That's terrible.
awards. I don't care. I don't care.
That's that. I did not know that. That's news to me. That's terrible. My mini
We
wrong
should
be,
get IT.
this time of year in Houston we have the rodeo, which has been
Oh,
a very big event for many number of years. All of a sudden, for some reason, unbeknownst to myself, Houston has become the travel destination of folks. And everybody decided they want to take their behinds to the rodeo for spring break. And the amount of traffic first of all, Houston is already traffic heavy. But the
yeah.
amount of additional traffic we saw because of the rodeo, and most importantly, the amount of non-freaking drivers on the freeways. I had 2 times where it was we stopped in the middle of the freeway because there were a cluster of cars who couldn't figure out they should go to the left of the freeway or to the right of the freeway. And they're just standing there doing this with each other. Take your no driving, non Houston asses home and leave the. Houston is not a city to try to figure out the freeway access points. There's too many of them, and they change so often. If you're not familiar with the city of Houston, you need to get to someone who is familiar with the city of Houston. Or I'll say take Lyft or Uber, but even those, a lot of the Uber drivers are not Houstonians. So they don't know where the hell they're going either. So you got the blind leading the blind, and it's ridiculous. I love that y'all love our city. I love that y'all love our women. We do that too. I love that y'all love our food. We do too. But man, I'm so tired of y'all polluting our city, bro. I'm not gonna hold you.
So people are going to Houston. I have two questions. People are going to Houston for their spring break.
Yeah.
So that reads to that. I shouldn't say that reads to me. That tracks in what we've seen in I feel as if we have as a civilization of Americans, we have really gone in this like deep country era. Like everybody loves the country aesthetic. Like the mullet is back. Carhartt's now trendy. Carhartt was not trendy. I had Carhartt growing up. Not because it was trendy, because that stuff works. I mean, that keeps you warm and it's durable. Now people are like, yo, I got a new Carhartt jacket. Like, all the country stuff, boots are in for everybody. Like, all the country stuff is super trendy. So I find it fascinating that today's youth are spending their spring breaks not partying on the beach, because I've also seen that the amount that current generation is, they don't drink alcohol, which is fine. They just don't drink alcohol. Everybody is doing country. So that's one. My second question is why, so that, well, I guess wasn't a question. This is actually a question. Why is the rodeo in March? Because San Antonio also had the rodeo. I only know that because of basketball. Spurs are gone. They're always gone, I think, in February. Why is the rodeo in Texas in February and March?
It starts in February. It extends to March. The exact reason for why those time dates are, I don't know, bro. I'm not going to sit here and say I know the history of why. I just looking for the Jack Daniels tents of a good barbecue and the pretty woman with the cowboy boots and the short and the booty shorts on. I'm just with it.
So we are being told that IT is telling us that it's because of the avoiding the heat and they want to get the spring breakers. I did not know that spring break to rodeo was a thing. I did not know that was a new thing or an ever thing.
Well, think about it. In Houston, for Houstonians, yes, because we don't really go by our beaches, and really Galveston isn't like some great beach to go to, right? So
Charles Barkley loves it down there.
Yeah, so it's not the optimum place to go. So I mean, it makes sense. Rodeo, good time. Everybody, most Houstonians own a pair of cowboy boots and a hat, at least one pair. And there's a lot to do with the rodeo. There's carnivals there, so it's a family-friendly situation. They have different topics, different nights. Sometimes you get to see some of your favorite artists that doesn't come to the city normally. You can see them at the rodeo. Your Wailers or your Waylons and your Lizzos or whoever else that they may have going on each of your pit bulls, people like that. So rodeo's a really, really good time. I'm glad that people are liking and enjoying our country nuances. But brother, I'm so tired. I'm so tired of this traffic.
Look, it is season down here in South Florida, which means it's impossible to move anytime between 4 o'clock and 6 p.m. if you're trying to drive anywhere. It's brutal. So I feel your pain. I hope for a speedy end to rodeo season for you, so that you don't have to deal with that anymore. All right, that's our show. Looks like Rick gets the W. I think that's 2-0 for Rick. Back to back. I think there is bias on our.
Oh, and by the way, I have to say this because this airing on Thursday. That means that St. Patrick's Day would have passed, and that is Yale's favorite holiday in the whole wide world. By the way,
it's likewise. I got a look from the wife on Friday, when I came home from Costco and said, "You're never gonna believe this. They have a 24-pack of Guinness being sold for $32. And she said, "What?" And I said, "Yeah, I bought it." And so I have a 24-pack of Guinness downstairs. It's the sweet nectars of the gods. So yes, St. Patrick's Day is a fantastic day. It just sucks that it's on a Tuesday, because otherwise I would have taken off Tuesday and Wednesday from work. Can't do that. So make St. Patrick's Day a weekend again.
Make St. Patrick's Day a weekend again.
Which it was, I guess, technically, but then you're not celebrating on St. Patrick's Day, and what's the point of it? It's like celebrating Christmas on the 22nd. It's like, come on. Christmas is Christmas, St. Patrick's Day, St. Patrick's Day. We don't move that day around. So,
agreed.
All right, that's our show. We're back on Thursday. Next Thursday, you'll be getting us back on Thursday. TMIW.show, the new YouTube channel. Make sure you're going over there. We're on podcast platforms, Spotify and Apple, and of course on YouTube. Appreciate Now Producer Yells. Rick, always great to see you. Talk to you next week.